Second thing I want to discuss about the sacrifices of an entrepreneur is taking responsibility of liabilities. It falls on the shoulders of the boss, of the entrepreneur, to stomach every liability. I can remember a few years ago, I have this friend of mine who is into production. So one of the days, late in the evening, I just put a call across to him to know how he's doing. And the wife was the one that picked the call. Now responded to me that my friend came home crying and he just entered the room and has been crying for hours now. So I asked her rather, what could be the problem? Where did he come from? So she responded to me that she perceived that he came back from the factory. I said, that's fine. So because I've had a lot of experiences and I share a lot with entrepreneurs across the globe and their experiences. I instructed the wife to allow him cry, give him some time to cry, that she should not interfere. Because I perceived that something went wrong that day, maybe along the line of their production. That's the production line. That's why he came back in such a mood. So I told the wife to allow him to cry, but just keep checking on him to know, because once that cry is not out of grief, it's not as a result of the loss of life, it means that there's something he has to deal with. And if you give him time to dry his tears by himself, he will come out with a resolve from experience. So the wife heed my instructions and then allowed him to cry. So late in the night, the wife called me to say that he has stopped crying. I now told her to just give me time. I will call him early in the morning. So very early in the morning, I called him to say, man, what's the matter? The wife said you were crying. He said, yes, that they had issues in their production just yesterday, and all the batch of the products they produced that day went bad. And that runs into millions of naira. So I asked him a very simple question. I said, so what will you do next? What will you do now? He just responded to me and said, life goes on. Okay, I now said, that's fine. So I would like to come to your office first thing uh, this morning. He told me the time he'll be in the office, he'll be resuming, so I was there. I needed to be there to hear his communication to his staff, because what he would tell his staff will actually convey to me whether he actually came out with a good resolve. So as we were there, he called the staff meeting, the morning devotion. They do that morning devotion in the morning. After the morning devotion, so he had to just address the staff before. All he told them was that yesterday what happened was unfortunate. But the fortunate thing is that we have learned one way we should not go about our production. I smiled. So when the staff went about the activities of the day, I shook his hands and I said, that is it. So I left him. And today he's doing so well. So coming out of that gloomy state by himself will make the entrepreneur come out with a resolve. And that's what he did on that day. So the moment he made his first statement, he said, life goes on, I understood that he's gotten it. So when he now made that communication to the staff, I just knew that at that point that he has come out stronger and better. And that's exactly. Today he's doing so well. His factory is doing so well and expanding everywhere. I want you to know that the bulk of what happened, the liability, what the loss they suffered within that period, all fell on his shoulders as the boss. It's also the responsibility of the boss to manage unsatisfied clients. Some clients can be a bunch, they can be a handful. They can be, if I can use the word, terrible and horrible. Managing them can be something else, but it's also the responsibility of the boss. And one thing is clear, the boss will always take the blame. The good boss will always take the blame. And this is something that I experienced one day. A friend of mine, they are into production. He runs a bakery. One of the days, I was sitting with him, chatting, discussing, and a client walked in, fuming, said, complained about the product that they supplied him that particular day. And there, right there before me, this boss, this my friend, the owner of the bakery, knelt down before everyone and started apologizing to the man. The man complained and said, even the nylon they used, the packaging material they used to package the product wasn't good enough. The man said, I am sorry, it's all my fault. He said, so when the man took all the blames along all the chains of production that the man complained about, the man eventually said, mean the client that is unsatisfied with the product that they supplied him, eventually said, are you saying you is only you that is running all this? Because anyone I mention, you say is all your fault. And that boss made a statement. He said, it's all on me because everyone here go about what they do at my command. So it is the responsibility of the boss to take the blame. And it shows maturity and it shows control, especially before the client. You can't deflect that the blame to the staff in the presence of the client. If you do, is you have exhibited lack of control. So the responsibility of liability falls on the boss, and that's a huge sacrifice. I want you to know that.